Theresa May insists the general election is a straight choice between her and Jeremy Corbyn, but it's not that clear-cut for all. Gina Miller, the businesswoman who took the government to the Supreme Court over its Brexit plans, today launched Best for Britain, a crowd-funded tactical voting campaign to boost the chances of candidates pushing for a real final vote on the Brexit deal.
The idea that Parliament should simply rubber stamp a binary deal or no deal option put by a future government and ignore any other alternatives would reduce democracy to a mere footnote. Throughout the course of this general election campaign, we will be focusing on educating and empowering people to make a tactical vote and choosing MPs who will do the best for Britain. Thanks to the generous donations that we've received, we will be able to directly support parliamentary candidates who are committed to keeping all options open.
Well, Gina Miller joins me now. So you've raised more than £300,000 already. How many individuals is that?
Getting close to 11,000 people now, which is extraordinary. So it shows it's not just supporting the idea, but they're actually putting their hands in their pockets. So we couldn't be more delighted.
You've capped donations at £500 a person.
That's a compliance issue because we've enrolled with the Electoral Commission. That's just a regulation that we have to abide by. Beyond that, people can give, but there's quite a lot of due diligence to do.
Looking at your board members, though, Gina, I mean, there are a lot of city types, people like Clive Cowdery, you've got the chairman of Virgin Group, you've got private equity bosses. A lot of people say, hang on, are these people really that reflective of the UK populace?
Well, they are. They're concerned citizens like anybody else. But the board and the organisation will cover the overheads. The money we're raising, the crowdfunding money, will go directly, every single penny will go towards this Best for Britain campaign, which, if you like, is a contained campaign away from the bigger organisation.
So what are the characteristics of the candidates that you'll be supporting?
Well, it's too early to tell. We've only had a week, but quite a lot of other people who are in our space are looking at what happened in 2015 and what happened in the referendum. We're not. We're saying we need to know what's going on now, how people are feeling now on the ground. So we've commissioned polling data and other online data. We're using a number of different methods, and we're hoping that next week, with the overlay of all the information we have, we'll be able to identify those candidates that we can work with.
But is the strategy going to be to support pro-Remain candidates or people who are in favour of a soft Brexit, or is it going to be targeting pro-Leavers and trying to decapitate them?
No, it's much more sophisticated than that, because part of our campaign is also to educate people about the idea that MPs or candidates need to stand by their principles. And that's our number one criteria, is strong, principled candidates who will stand up and hold the government to account and demand a final vote, whatever it is they voted for and whatever their policies. So we're trying to be completely fair across both political parties and disciplines.
Because of the Open Britain organisation, which was previously a cross-party body, a lot of the Conservatives who were involved with that have now walked away because they fear that the Tories are going to be targeted by Open Britain now.
I think there's so many people in this space. That was their tactic. We have a very focused way of doing this, and we're not going to be saying it's one party or another. But the other question, of course, is whether the candidates will accept our money and if they're allowed to. So there are many ways we can work with candidates. But even if somebody decided not to accept our money, we can still do a huge amount online to raise people's awareness.
But you will be trying to essentially get rid of the likes of Ian Duncan-Smith, Theresa Villiers, Kate Hoey, these very, very staunchly pro-Leave MPs, presumably.
Look, the question on the table is, and the brand is, what is best for Britain? If an MP doesn't want to debate that and is basically going to be a rubber stamp, well, in our view, that's actually not serving their constituents, all their constituents, and doing what's best for Britain, because common sense says it has to be all options on the table when the deal comes back, because Brexit is going to dominate this election, and logic says all deals must be on the table. How can you not debate that?
A lot of people say, why don't you just stand for Parliament yourself?
Yes, I've had a few rumours. A rumour mill has been working overtime. I believe I can do so much more outside of Parliament. Also, I have my day job and so many other things to do.